Once again, I welcome you all for this today national level virtual faculty development program on development and psychometric analysis using EFA and CFA, organized by the Department of Commerce SF, V.H.N.S.N.College, Virudhunagar, in association with Department of Commerce, GVN College, Kovilpatti. Here, our resource person, Dr. S. Sheikh Abdullah sir, is waiting for to make this session more fruitful. Sir, please.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. May I start the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Please.
okay, sure. So, very good evening, one all gathered here in this 2 days faculty development program on psychometric analysis using EFA to CFA. Now we are in the second day. I mean, the end of the session. The first day session, we saw the how to run exploratory factor analysis, and we learned something from factor analysis technique, especially for theory building piece of work. Many publications, they are welcoming the papers with the scale development study. That's why the webinar on faculty development program named as psychometric analysis. So scale development studies are purely psychometric analysis because it assesses the opinion, attitude, and the different name categorized by the psychiatrist. All those things are related and connected with the area of psychometric analysis. That's why the webinar was planned to named as psychometric analysis using EFA and CFA. That's why we are giving that a name. But we may give a name as exploratory factor analysis to confirmatory factor analysis. But we named this faculty development program not like other program. I mean, many institutions are ready to organize the program on EFA, IBM AMAS, Lizerel, Stata, but they focus on the mass audience, but the effectiveness of the program was zero. I mean, null. It depends upon the participants, it depends upon the resource person, and other things. So, but the institution jointly organized the program. I mean, V.H.N.S.N.College and an association with the Department of Commerce from GVN College, Kovilpatti. After the pandemic, I too realized that we cannot cope with the other people's. Pandemic make many lessons regarding creating a mutual relationship. That's why the platform was organized. Uh, uh, in that sense, we are in the second day. We only focus on the second day itself is confirmatory factor analysis using IBM AMAS. Okay. Before going to confirmatory factor analysis technique, once again I will recall you exploratory factor analysis purely for theory development process. If you are interested in any theories, related to your study, maybe your study purely from marketing, you may adapt the consumer, you may assess the consumer behavior or attitude or something related with the core areas of marketing. Suppose if your research area is human resource management, HRM, you may assess the employee retention and working, I mean, organizational climate. The sub research area, sub domains may be purely related with your core research. It's a common agenda of all the research scholars. We are focusing on the research variables which are positively or negatively associated with the main research. Okay. The thing is that in order to develop a new theory, we have to apply exploratory factor analysis. Suppose instead, if you want to recheck the theory, maybe the theory may be developed in some other country and some other states, because India segregated with the different states. The particular state people's perspective may be differ from other state, even though we cannot commit that a particular the same district in a state differ from the other district in the same state. We cannot committed the relationship between the states in the districts in the states. So we may prove that the particular theory developed in a country or maybe in any other state, you may adapt their theory into your research with citing the particular author. At that time, you may apply confirmatory factor analysis. Confirmatory factor analysis evaluate the validity of the particular theory. Validity of the particular theory. That means you are adapting the theory in your study with modification required. Sometimes modification required for fulfilling your model criteria. I mean research model criteria. I am interested in researching the job satisfaction of bank employees, and also I am focused on developing, adding and some more models in the existing model. Take for example, Minnesota job satisfaction scale is a famous scale regarding it assess the job satisfaction of employees wherever they are engaged. That time we may use that particular scale to assess the job satisfaction. So ultimately, I focus on job satisfaction scale. I adapt the job satisfaction scale, and adding motivation is one of the variable. Motivation is one of the variable in that model, and collapse it. It formed as a new theory. It formed as a new theory. It is a basic thing in each and every research work. Okay, so you may interested in I mean adding up the existing theory and add another one more new research variable from your perspective. I mean researcher's perspective. You may add it, you may confirm it and validate the theory. That theory may be in focus by next generation researchers. Okay, in that sense, there are a lot of scales are available in the web sources. You may focus job satisfaction scale, Barasuraman service quality scale, organizational climate scale. Like that, there are a lot of scale toolkits are available. If you are interested, someone may among many research scholars are participating in this webinar. If you are belongs to education department, your research area is focused on evaluating the teaching pedagogy. So you at the education side and the psychology and social science side stream based research scholar, you may focus on scale toolkit from the National Psychological Library Corporation, NPC, National Psychological Library, Library Corporation, NPLC. You just type it, National Psychology Library Corporation, India. It was located in, I think so, in Pune. You may access their website. They are offering lot of toolkits. Organizational climate scale, evaluating the awareness level of the students towards transmitted diseases like HIV and tuberculosis. Like many scale toolkits are available. If you subscribe to the particular scale, they will definitely send the copy in two versions, whether the particular skill may be available in Hindi version or English version. Wherever you require, you may get it the versions. They ultimately form two versions. Some toolkits only available in a single version, either it may be in English or Hindi. Okay, you just download their prospectus. They are offering large size. I mean, many toolkits available. That's why I'm telling. Only numerous research works which carried with toolkits. They are adding the toolkits into their annexer, thesis annexer. Only countable number of research scholars focusing on scale toolkit, or the rest of them focus on developing the scale by himself, their own self. They are developing guide and research scholar sitting in quorum and develop a scale, new scale. But the remaining scholar, they only focus on getting the PhD award. They are seeking post writers, post writing works institution. They are focusing on institution, private institution, to focus on to complete their PhD degree. This is purely for name taking purpose. I'm not blaming all the research scholars. Only numerous. I mean, 50% of the research scholars focusing on to complete the PhD degree only for the purpose of to obtain the teaching job. Okay, so you have to change your attitude towards getting a PhD degree. It's not an easy thing. You have to change it. Okay, so let me move to the confirmative factor analysis using AMAS. Okay. So I will present now. So my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Visible, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. You saw the tab, Google tab, Chrome tab. So this is the Minnesota job satisfaction scale. It consists of 20 items generally formed to measure the satisfaction level. Okay, it is readily available. Free version is available. You just download it and use it for your research work. Okay, I will show you National Psychological Library Corporation, Agra, Uttar Pradesh. National Psychological Library Corporation. NPC, India.com. Overseas scholars are interested in the accessing our National Psychological Corporation, because some countries are not having potential to access the National Psychological Corporation. At that time I was a scholar and actively engaged in discussion forum, scholars research discussion forum. That time the scholar was posting that I need a organizational climate scale. I download it and send it to the particular scholar because they are aware about our library, but our scholars, Indian scholars, not aware about the products are offered by National Psychological Corporation. Offering many kits. They are offering teaching aid, handbooks, journals, books. In the category itself, you can access it. Psychology. Okay. They charge around 500 to 600 and depends upon the availability of the scale. Printed version will be through in post. If you ask them to send that soft copy, you will get it. It demands rise by the research scholars. Okay, so it will take the time. So I'm just to close it. Let me move to first CFA. Okay. I'm using 20th version of SPSS. 21, 23 versions are available, but I am not using that. It's a crack version. Take time to open the file because large statistical software were uploaded in my backup. That's why it was taking time. So 366 respondent data were in the data set. In the variable view, you see that what are the variables included in the particular data set. JS means job satisfaction, MO means motivation, CD means career development. I have three different latent construct: job satisfaction, motivation, and career development. CD. So I am not imposing the name of the statement. Instead, I am just giving the code value. Okay. The scale development is in progress. I am still it was not in a published way. I mean, in a, under process. That's why I'm not focusing on to entire scale. So privacy purpose, I am not enforcing the scale. I'm just recoding the. I mean, coded value fitted in the variable view environment. Okay, spaces. So job satisfaction, we have 6 variables. Named as JS, job satisfaction. Number of variables 6. Motivation, MO, named as MO. It has again 6 variables. And CD, career development, named as recorded as CD. So it also has 6 variables. If sufficient time is available before completing the present session, I will demonstrate how to compare as per multi-group comparison through AMAS. Okay, so we have 3 different dimension. That means job satisfaction. Second one is motivation, and the third one is career development. Okay, these 3 dimensions were exacted from previous work. Now I am going to check whether the particular theory validate with our population. I mean, in my district, whether it follows the same set of theory. I mean, there may be a chance for modification in the particular dimension. Maybe job satisfaction influences motivation, or motivation influences career development. Like that, I am forming different hypotheses. So each dimension is unidimensional, not a structural model. It is a measurement model. Job satisfaction is unidimensional, motivation is again unidimensional, career development is unidimensional. Unidimensional means it's a single construct, does not have additional construct. Okay, it's a single construct, does not have a I mean, some more dimension in the same construct. Suppose job satisfaction may be measured by different category, maybe work environment and personal traits. Like that, you have some more dimension. In the yesterday, we saw the EFA for assessing the customers, assessing the bank employees towards customer perspective. In the particular EFA, we draw two different dimension named as competency and friendly approach. Okay, that concept has two different dimensions. In the present case, we have 3 dimension, but the 3 dimension is unidimensional. Okay, unidimensional. So let me check the validity of the unidimensional construct. I mean, JS separately, motivation separately, and the career development separately. We are going to run first order CFA. It is called first order CFA. There are 2 different categories of CFA. First one is first order CFA, second one is second order CFA or pooled CFA. It form the structural model. After forming the structural model, we may move to structural equation modeling. At that time, after forming the structural model, we are going to form the SEM model. I am not demonstrate the SEM model. I just demonstrate how to check the validity of the CFA model. Okay. So in the present case, we are going to run a single order CFA for each construct: job satisfaction construct and motivation construct. Finally, career development construct. I just close it before going to analysis. AMAS, in AMAS, you have to take the descriptive statistics. Okay, you have to take the descriptive statistics instead of taking frequency table for Likert scale. Likert type of scale or ordinal type of data, categorical data. You have to take the descriptive statistics. Most of the research scholars do the wrong thing in the research report. That is, they are taking frequency table. They are taking frequency table for Likert type data. You should not take frequency table for Likert type data. You have to take descriptive statistics. Okay, you have to take descriptive statistics for Likert and interval and again scale based data. You have to take a descriptive statistics. Your thesis should be presented with the descriptive statistics instead of taking frequency table. If your dictomus data or maybe some variables are ordinal without categorization, at that time you have to present the frequency table. They take like yes or no type questions, gender, age, income. You have to, if you get the data from the respondents through open-ended question for age and income, you have to interval the data as per their opinion gathered from the respondent. You have to run the graph. After that, you have to cut the interval level. Thereafter, you have to present as interval data. If you approach the respondent with closed-ended questions, closed-ended data from the particular question, age, income, you have to code it as measure as ordinal measure. For easy preparation, you may get it to closed-ended. Suppose if you are having only demographic and socioeconomic variable as 10 and directly goes to assess the main category of your research variable, that time you may present with open-ended, and after you have to interval the data as per the frequencies. Graphical presentation. After getting the graphical presentation, you have to set the interval. Okay. So now I am going to run the descriptive statistics for 3 different construct. Okay. So I am going to select analyze menu, and thereafter you have to move to you have to select descriptive statistics, and the descriptive statistics menu. So submenus like frequencies, descriptives, explore. You have to select descriptives. Okay. Then JS1, 3, 5, 6. If you move the variables into the right hand side of box, variable box, that is a testing variable, you are going to get the output. So you select options. So it is already predefinedly selected mean, standard deviation, minimum and maximum. We should not get a minimum and maximum. In the Likert scale, minimum is 1. If the scale is 5-point scale, the minimum value is 1, the maximum value is 5. So it occupies the columns. That's why I remove it, minimum and the maximum, kurtosis and skewness in distribution aspect. Thereafter click OK. You get the frequency of, descriptive statistics of the JS dimension, means job satisfaction dimension, has 6 observed variables: JS1, JS2, JS3, 4, 5, 6. That means it all coded as, I am not presenting the scale items. particularly because of I already told you it should be viewed as a privacy. That's why I'm not enforcing JS1, JS2, JS3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 statements. Total number of sample sizes around 366. It shows the mean value and the standard deviation, skewness, and the kurtosis values. In order to present your data, whether your data is control follows the normal distribution, you have to check it with the skewness and the kurtosis values. Okay. So if the skewness and the kurtosis values plus or minus more than 1.96 plus or minus 1.96 in positive, 1.96 in negative minus 1.96. If the values more than that, you have to remove the particular item. You have to remove the particular statement because that statement is outliers, maybe due to the outliers, maybe the cause of the outliers. Okay, so you have to remove it. If you are not remove the particular statement, it definitely affect the validity aspects in the confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so you mind it, plus or minus 1.96 if skewness or kurtosis values. After taking that, the present scale item fulfill the criteria of normality issue. So I just close. So again, run the descriptives for other dimension. I mean motivation.
Sir, sorry for interruption, sir. One of the participants asked to explain once again, sir, please.
Once again, okay. If your skewness and kurtosis value, the purpose of running descriptive statistics is to identify the normality of your collected data. There were two methods available in SPSS to run the normality issues. Okay, from the particular analysis, you can get the whether your data follows the normal distribution, normality. Okay. So in order to know the normality through descriptive statistics, you have to take the skewness and the kurtosis values. If the skewness and the kurtosis values more than plus or minus 1.96, in the left side minus 1.96, the right side plus 1.96, the value should be fall between this value. If it is more than that, it severely affected due to normality. If you never focus on that particular variable, it definitely creates some problem in the confirmatory factor analysis. That's why I'm telling to remove the particular statement. So in the present case, in the dimension of job satisfaction, all the statements are fulfilling the criteria. That means plus or minus 1.96. All those values are fall between the 1.96. So that's why I'm feel free to move for further analysis. So I completed the first dimension, job satisfaction. Now I am going to run a descriptives for motivation dimension. So motivation dimension, right? Options. So already minimum and maximum value set by default. You have to select distribution, kurtosis, and skewness. Then press continue. Okay. Again, go to recently used dialog box, again descriptives, reset it, and use career development. Okay, career development options, minimum and maximum. You have to remove the tick marks from the minimum and the maximum, and insert you have to focus kurtosis and skewness, mean and the standard deviation. That then continue, press OK. We have descriptive. We run the descriptive statistics for 3 dimension. First one job satisfaction, second one motivation, third one career development. All these values fulfill the criteria of 1.96 plus or minus 1.96. So I feel free to move for further analysis. Okay, suppose if you name the label in the here in the label box, if you give the name, that means if you give take for example jobs JS1 is a set is a scale. I have, due to privacy purpose, I am not mentioning here. Suppose if you mentioning the label here, it will be not compressed with the observed variable in the box. You cannot able to set that huge statement into a single box in confirmatory factor analysis. If you are running, if you are planned to running CFA, confirmatory factor analysis, or SEM or path analysis, whatever it is, you have to code as user friendly and understandable. Here I am coding the each and every dimension as short named as JS, MO, CD. Like that, you have to code yourself and identify. It should be identified by yourself. Once you code it, but you forget to what the particular statement, what the particular dimension, it may be waste of time. So before preparing your data set into analysis in IBM, SPS, AMAS, you have to code properly. You have to keep a separate file for feeding data to IBM AMAS, because IBM AMAS is a to assess the moment structure. That's why it was called as analysis of moment structure, AMAS. So it is not. It make it just like a paint. If you are using paint application, it's just like the paint application, but the form of the function of the application is bit different, because painting only for the purpose of editing, cutting or making any photographs. But in SPS, but in IBM AMAS, it gives a confirmatory of checking the confirmatory validity and forming to develop new hypothesis through path analysis and structural equation modeling. Okay, so it's my request, you have to name the recode the values as per identification by yourself. Okay, if you give a label to JS1, JS3, JS4, 5, 6, it definitely creates problem in AMAS environment. That's why I'm telling. Okay, once you preparing the data, you check the descriptive statistics. Thereafter, feel free to move AMAS environment. I just again save this document. Thereafter, close the window. Close it. Proceed. No. Yes. Now, ultimately, you have to open another one application called Paint. Once your AMAS graphics was over, you have to cut and paste in the application. That's why I'm easy purpose. I'm just opening a tab in the window. So that's why I'm opening a Paint option, Paint application. So again, I'm opening AMAS graphics, right? You have to take the notes before going to run confirmatory factor analysis. Not only in webinar purpose, you have to take whenever you are entering into AMAS environment. You have to take some notes. How many statements in that particular dimension? You have to code it and quantify the statements, whether it has 5, 6, or 4. Like that, you have to mention it. What is MO, motivation dimension? It has 6 variables. CD, it has 6 variables. Like that, you have to code it yourself. Okay, this is AMAS environment. It is look like a paint application. It is look like a paint application. Again, once again, I will open it. Look at that. It was presented in the toolbar. The icons were presented in here, but in AMAS, it was presented here. But the application purpose is different. It's for easy understanding. I will just demonstrate paint is look like a AMAS. Most of us feel that AMAS is very tedious application. Wherever we develop our model, whatever we feed the data, it definitely run. But this is a wrong thing. In the research scholars community, we have to define the proper measurement variable. We have to use a proper latent construct. We eliminate, we screen the data. The AMAS definitely give the results. Okay, not like SPSS. SPSS, if you do wrong, if you are not fulfilling the prerequisites in SPSS, it definitely give a result. But in AMAS, it never offer the result without fulfilling the prerequisites. I mean, normality and validity aspects. Okay, so this is interface property, but you have to first select the interface property from the view menu. It has uh, menus like file, edit, view, diagram, analyze, tools, plugins, and help menu. In the file menu, you are focusing only on new and save. That's all. In edit menu, everything is look like a copy and paste like that. In view menu, you have interface properties and analysis properties and object properties. You just focus on interface and analysis property. These things also here presented in the icon here. In the left side, you just move to the cursor. You just move to the cursor into the particular icon. It reveals the name. Now I am in analysis properties. Now I am going to move the calculate estimates. The bus like icon shows that it moves the object from the working environment. Okay, this is called figure caption. Draw observed variables. The circle like circle reveals unobserved variables. It's a latent variable, latent construct. Okay, so first you have to enlarge the working environment. The working environment should be in very large. That time it makes you to work what you are intended to work, whether it was done by effectively or not. It gives some I mean specific result if you increase the uh, working environment. Okay, first we have to change the working environment, then we will show one by one icon. Okay, so you have to select a view menu, interface properties. You have to change the interface. Paper size should be set as landscape A4, then apply. Once you select, you will change you will see in the changes. The working environment was landscaped with the A4 size. Okay, now I am going to draw the I mean this is called observed variable. You are going to draw the observed values. Once you select it, once you click it, thereafter come into the working environment and draw it. Once you select if you select, the particular icon will be like a square. Okay, so you are now selecting the option, the I mean observed variable. You just drop it. That's all. If you want to erase it, you have to select erase object icon. Select it and come to in the working environment. You have to delete it. That's all. So I am going to draw unobserved variable. So I am drawing unobserved variable ellipse. I am moving this ellipse into wherever you require. So I am moving here. Now I am moving here. Now I am moving here. Okay. I am going to draw another one ellipse. Okay. So I am just select it. Once you select it, the icon will be active. Okay. And to move into the working environment. It was presented. Now I am going to move this object into latent construct into near to the first latent construct and deactivate it. And again I am going to draw additionally ellipses. Then you need to additionally add 2 ellipses, mean 4 ellipses. That mean 4 unobserved variable. You just already you draw 2, so you select a duplicate objectives. Duplicate objectives. Before that, select all objects and move to duplicate objects. You draw it. That's all. Before that, deselect the objects. Deselect it. Now I am going to move one ellipse. I mean one circle, one ellipse into right corner and one ellipse into right corner. Likewise in top and bottom. So I am going to move. Select the move icon. I mean move object. The top left and top right. Again bottom right and bottom left. Okay, so I am going to erase all the objects. So now you going to select all objects. All the objects are selected. If the object is selected, it turns blue color. It turns blue color. Now I am delete it. That's all. That's all. I delete all the objects. Now, like that, you have to do the icons with the operation with the AMAS environment. Okay. So, in the first dimension, we have 6 variables. We have 6 variables, and that dimension is called job satisfaction. 6 observed variable to measure the job satisfaction. 6 observed variables to measure the construct, that latent construct named as job satisfaction. Okay. So I am going to draw the observed variables. Okay. So it was a latent construct. In order to measure the job satisfaction, you are literally developing 6 different factors to evaluate the job satisfaction. So you have to select the third icon of draw a latent variable icon. You select it, goes into the working environment, you draw the ellipse, then click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So deactivate the icon. So deactivated. Now I am rotate the latent construct. Okay. So go to the rotate option. Rotate the indicators. Now rotate it. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Okay. Now I am selecting all objects. It should be the latent construct should be presented in the centered page of the window. So I am select all object, move object, select it, and move into the particular area. So now I deselect all objects. You have to deselect all objects. Go to this icon, deselect it. Okay. So now I am feeding data into AMAS. So AMAS program accept all databases. Okay. So move to the select data files. Select data files. If you move the cursor into the particular icon, it reveals its name. Okay, I am going to select data files. Okay, file name. So CFA data set. CFA data set. I am selecting CFA data set. Then press open. Data self itself showing number of observation. Okay, so 366 observation in the data set. Okay, now I am selecting OK. Once you feed the data, it will be listed in the variables in data sets. It will be presented in the variables in data sets. You have to select this icon. If you select this icon, it will be presented. JS1, JS2, the variables, whatever entered in the particular data set, it will be presented in the list variables menu. Okay, list variables icon. Okay, so I am feeding JS1 into observed variable. You have to drag and drop it. JS1, JS2, JS3, JS4, JS5, and JS6. Each construct we are going to run first order CFA. Each construct we have three different constructs. The first construct is job satisfaction. Second construct is motivation. Third construct is career development. This is a latent variable. The ellipse is called a latent variable. The latent variable is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction. Okay. What is 100? The 100 arrow with the ellipse is called measurement error. Each and every measurement has its own error. So we have to set the measurement error. You have to name. You don't need to name it. The plugins are available to name it. So plugins, go to name plugins, name unobserved variables. Select name unobserved variable. After clicking that, E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6 will be presented. Okay, now I am moving this ellipse because to know the exact factor loadings of each observed variables. So I am just moving move object and select all and move it to here. Then deselect all objects. Okay, now I am feeding all those data and name the latent construct and fix the errors, observation error. In the 100 arrow from the origin from the ellipsis, one of the arrow should has the value of 1, should have a value of 1. That means the regression weight at least set as by default as 1. That means at least one of the variable explains the job satisfaction. It is a basic assumption. If we remove this 1, the result, sometimes if your data face with suffer with multicollinearity and other those things, it never run. So you have to set at 1 by default. It already set by 1. Suppose if you making this latent construct by drafting like that, you have to draw, then you have to draw the ellipses, thereafter draw 100 arrow, like that you have to draw all those observed variables. Then again you have to draw the circle, then 100 arrow origin from the latent construct, I mean this one. You have to face difficulties. That's why in order to avoid the latent forming the latent construct, the AMAS offers a separate latent construct icon. It functions as develop a latent construct. Okay, so the option is available. Why we need to spend our time to drawing these things? So just erase it. Okay. So before running any analysis, in particularly in first order CFA, you have to check all the measurement errors which were fixed, and there is, I mean, regression weight should be assigned as 1. If you select the particular arrow, there is, I mean, regression weight assigned as fit for J6. So if you select it, the parameter regression weight here is 1. Here is 1. Okay. So now we are going to name the caption. What is this model? I mean job satisfaction. Job satisfaction. Center line. I am going to say center. It should be present in the center line. Font size is 30. It should be bold and italic. Then press OK. It will be presented here. You may move it to wherever you care through the moving object icon. Okay, moving object operation. So you move it, then you have to move for analysis properties. Go to the output menu, analysis properties. You may select it from menu also, but I am not going to open each and every time. I am not going to open a menu. So if you in the elementary, I mean infant stage, you may use the menus. So analysis properties, go to the view menu and select analysis properties, or you may select analysis properties here from the icon shortcuts. Okay, once you select it, move to output. So minimization history, you have to select standardized estimate, then select factor score weights, then modification indices, then select modification indices. These 3 options is enough for first order CFA. Okay, then press OK. Then press the button calculate estimates. Now we are going to run the job satisfaction first order CFA model. Okay, so I am selecting the icon calculate estimates, or otherwise go to view calculate estimate. You may select the calculate estimate. So again alerting that window to save the first order CFA model job satisfaction. Save. Okay. How to view the output path diagram menu icon? You have to select the up and down arrow. If you move to the up arrow, that means it will show the output. If you move to, if you click the arrow with a down icon, it means return to the working environment without calculation. Okay, now I am going to view the output path diagram. So selecting the up arrow, so the values were presented, the job satisfaction model. I am going to take the standardized estimates. Standardized estimate is main thing in conformatory factor analysis, because standardized estimates is just like factor analysis weights, because in EFA the minimum criteria is zero 0.5, so universally accepted. Some, if you increase the sample size, it may be 0.4 or 0.3. If the sufficient literature is available, you may code it and use it. But in CFA, the factor loading value should be more than 0.7, more than 0.7. So in the present case, out of six factors, 3 factors values below the the cutoff point 0.7. Here, no need to look out always in the graphical format. You have to take the view text. The text output will be open in a separate window. So this is analysis summary, notes for group, variable summary. There are 6 observed variables: J6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and observation error E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, and E6. Number of variables in your model 13. Observed variable is 6. Name of unobserved variable is 7. Exogenous variable is 7. Endogenous variable is 6. Okay. Parameter summary, notes for model. High square is 14.641. Degrees of freedom is 9. So number of distinct sample movement is 21. Number of distinct parameter to be estimated is 12. So 21 minus 12 is 9. The degrees of freedom is 9. If the degrees of freedom is minimum, the model will not be efficient. Okay, so it should be more than the distinct sample movements to parameters to be estimated. So now the sample moments is 21. The parameters to be estimated is 12. So we get 9 degrees of freedom. Then select estimates. So this is the second table is called standardized regression weights. So in this table we are going to eliminate the variables, particular variables. Some researchers says that if the standardized factor loading is 0.6 is enough. Someone may mention that 0.7 is enough. It depends upon the validity of the model. So what is the minimum criteria for validation? Your model should be fulfill some fit indices. Your model should fulfill some fit indices called C mean. C mean value should be less than 3 is highly appreciated. If less than 5 is okay, but it should be less than 3 is definitely your model fit with the data. Second thing is GFI and CFI value. GFI and CFI value should be more than 0.9. Then RMSEA value should be less than 0.08. Once again, I will recall it. What are the model fit required for evaluating the particular factor analysis is efficient or not? Depends upon the model fit values. First one is C mean value. C mean value less than 3 is efficient. Suppose if the values below 5 is okay. If the C mean value is more than 5, your model should not validated with the collected data. You may increase the sample size, you may remove some outliers, like that you have to eliminate it. The second thing is GFA and CFA value should be more than 0.9 or more than 0.9. The RMSE, the last RMSEA value is 0.08. You have to follow these 4 criteria before eliminating the particular statement from analysis. I am going to evaluate the model fit, then press model fit. Here, C mean value is 1.627. GFA value is 0.987. CFA value is 0.994. And the RMSEA value is less than 0.08. Less than 0.08. So, without eliminating, without removing any statement, I am achieving the model fit. I am achieving the model fit. Again and again, you no need to run the model fit through view text. Even though some publication they are asking AMAS graphics with its results. Results presented in a text format is additionally by AMAS environment. We may get it the view text. Okay, but they are asking the graphics itself. It shows the text. So in order to do that, you have to view the input path diagram through before model specification. So now I am activate the model specification before analysis. I am going to change the title. How to activate the values? You have to select title. Then after I am naming as job satisfaction. Okay. Now I am going to check high square. Equal to backslash C mean. Then enter df equal to backslash df. Then gfi equal to backslash gfi. Again cfi equal to backslash cfi. Now I am going to draw the last criteria, feed the last criteria RMSEA equal to slash RMSEA. That's all. Then press OK. Move it. So it disturb the latent construct. So I am going to move it to little bit down. Okay. So now I am selecting the view the output path diagram icon. Okay. So now I am getting the all those values. High square is 14.641. Degrees of freedom is 9. So high square divided by degrees of freedom, we get C mean value. In order to C mean value, C mean bar DF should be less than 3. In some cases, less than 5 is okay. If less than 3, it is the model best fit with your collected data. GFA value is also 0.987. CFA value is 0.994. RMSEA is 0.04. 0.041. It should be less than 0.08. 0.08 less than 0.08. We fulfill all those criteria of model fit. The model is fit. The data collected data is fit with the model. What about the reliability? In order to know the reliability of the model, you have to take composite reliability. I tell you in the yesterday class, in order to know the reliability of exploratory factor analysis, you have to run Cronbach alpha test. In confirmatory factor analysis, you have to run the composite reliability. The composite reliability, get it from the standardized regression coefficient. Now we are in the view of standardized regression coefficient. Okay. So the composite reliability will be calculated from the standardized regression coefficient. Okay. So I am going to the view text. I am taking the estimate. I am going to estimate and select the standardized regression weights table, copy it and paste it for CFA reporting. AMAS always run in some more files in backdrop. So that's why always take time to open some more other applications like Word, Excel, like that. Once you open a AMAS environment, it will, if your RAM is very minimum level, it take much of time to open some more programs like Word, Excel, and other programs like SPSS, like that. So you paste it. Now I paste here. Standardized regression weights. Okay. Standardized regression weights. So I am fulfilling all those criteria. I mean, C-min value, GFA, CFA, and RMSEA. Now I need to fulfill the reliability aspects through AVE, average variance exacted, and composite reliability. This is called convergent validity and composite reliability. Convergent validity fulfilled by AVE, that means average variance exacted. And another one thing is composite reliability. Composite reliability. Okay. So we need to fulfill other two things before going to interpretation. You just said compute the AVE and CR. AV is nothing but squaring the standardized factor loading, and summation the all those factor loading, square of factor loading divided by number of factors in the construct. So in order to do that calculation, I am opening Excel application. The formula for calculating AV is sum square of factor loading divided by number of factors. That's all. Sum square of factor loading divided by number of factors. So I'm selecting factor loading. So copy and paste it here. So equal to that's all. Sum square of factor loading. So sum equal to divided by number of factors, 1 to number of construct in number of observed variable in a single construct. In JS construct, we have 6 observed variables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then divided by 6 equal to 0.533. 0.533. We have 0.533 average variance exacted. Average variance exacted. Dimension is job satisfaction. Average variance exacted is 0.533. The average variance should be greater than 0.5. The average variance exacted should be greater than 0.5. The same time, composite reliability of the entire latent construct should be more than 0.7. 0. More than 0.7. If you were suppose you are fulfilling all those criteria, I mean model fit indices. Suppose if you are facing a problem with the composite reliability, it means if you get the value less than 0.7, between the 6 to 0.7, that time you have some literatures coding that composite reliability 0.6 is enough, but some more researchers say that 0.7 is better for validity. Okay, so if you have a sufficient literature, you may code it and feel free to do for further analysis. Move to further analysis. Don't stagnate it to compute the particular thing to become an efficient model. So Once you fulfill all those criteria, that's enough to execute and move to some more analysis, some more interpretation, some more hypothesis like that. Okay, don't stagnate it into fulfilling all those criteria in a single model. Okay, so now we are going to calculate the composite reliability. Composite reliability means the sum of squared factor loading plus sum of error variance divided by sum of squared factor loading. Sum of factor loading plus sum of error variance divided by sum of squared factor loading. Okay, this is the formula for calculating composite reliability. For easy understanding, I will open a macro file to compute the composite reliability and the average variance exactor. Yes, separate sheet available for if your component have 3 indicators, you may use it. 4 indicators, you have to paste the values itself. The 5 indicators, just to paste it down. We have 6 indicators, so now I am going to select 6 indicators macro file and paste here the factor loading values itself. So I am just pasting here. The composite reliability is 0.872. The average variance exact is 0.533. Already we computed from Excel programs 0.533. Composite reliability is it takes time to computation. That's why I'm using the macro file. Once you calculate CR, in order to calculate the CR AVE, you use this macro file. After completing this webinar, I will send this macro file. You have to use it. Suppose it depends upon the indicators we are using. Suppose I'm going to using 7 indicators. You may select 7 indicators. If you done the analysis with 8 indicator means observed variable. 8 observed variable, you have to select 8 observed variables. Now in the present case we are using 6 indicators, so I am just selecting the 6 indicators and paste it the values. Paste value itself. Here we are pasting the particular standardized factor loading table in the last page of the interpretation. Here I am copy it and goes into the macro file, macro CR, and paste it here. So the value is 0.872. Now here you have to feed it 0.872. 0.872. So the model fulfill all those criteria. I mean reliability and validity aspects. Then the model fit. So we fulfilling this factor loading like the so I cannot able to transform it. A 6, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Day 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Factor loading. Here I am pasted. All the observed variables are statistically significant. Means all the p values are statistically significant. Here and the time of drawing the construct JS6 fit with the estimate 1. That means the estimate is regression weight. At least one statement regression value should be assigned as 1. If you are not removing it, sometimes you face that the model should not be run. Now we check it. Remove the regression weight 1. Run the model. Sometimes it may run. Here we cannot able to run the model because what reason is behind it, that we need to run the text analysis. The model is probably unidentified. In order to achieve the identifiability, it will probably be necessary to impose one additional constraint. So we need to feed the AMA should be understand that at least one variable influences the construct. That means the regression weight again set to as 1 to the JS6 statement. You may move to the 1 into any other statement. Like last time it was set by default JS6. Now I am going to set as JS1 as a regression weight 1. Now I am going to run the analysis. go to the estimates. The value here JS1 estimate is 1. Last time it was set in JS6. That time we are not knowing the estimate level. I mean, unstandardized regression coefficient value. Here we get 0.781. Now JS1 set as regression weight as is 1. So that we cannot able to compute that regression weights. Yes, at least one of the variables in the construct influences the dimension or reflect the dimension. Okay, this is the basic thing. So now I am close it. So I am just grabbing the diagram. I mean, copy the diagram and paste into Word. If you directly paste into the Word, it maximize the space, and you cannot able to move it to some more places. So I am going to paste it down in the Paint. So that's why I'm selecting copy the path diagram like exam pad icon. You have to clipboard. It save into the clipboard. You have to select it and go to the Paint, paste here. So you can able to grab the graphics. So I am going to grab it. So using control and the page down arrow. So that's okay. Then again I cut it and paste in the Word file. So unstandardized coefficient value. Here is the standardized factor value. So enter it and paste it. So now get your graph. The graph itself shows the results. High square 14.61, DF is 9, 14.641 degrees of divided by degrees of freedom 9 is equal to 1 point something. GFA value is 0.987, GFA equal to 0.994, RMSEA value is less than 0.08. So now you feed the values into the separate box. RMSEA less than 0.04. Now the calculated value. GFA value is 0.987, 0.987. CFA value is 0.994, 0.994. High square bar degrees of freedom is bracket 14.641, 14.641 divided by 9. We get the value so 14.641 divided by 9, 1.626, 1.6267. It's the C mean value. You have to fulfill the criteria as fit indices like absolute fit, incremental fit, and the parsimony fit. You have to fulfill all those criteria. Here the critical values. RMSEA value should be less than 0.08. GFA value, CFA value should be greater than 0.9, and the C mean value is less than 3.0. Okay, efficient. If your C mean value is less than 5 is better. Okay, if it does not create any problem, these other fit indices like RMSEA, GFA, CFA. Okay, at that time you have to change the modification. Okay, you just paste it the GFA values here, C mean values here, or RMSEA root mean square error of approximation values here, and the C mean values here. Thereafter form and give a summary about the particular dimension. Okay, so now we complete the first dimension. So if any clarification in the first dimension. Any clarification? Okay, CR formula. I will send a Word file regarding the interpretation. You will grab it and use it to your work. It's not a problem. Macro file. Your CR formula means in formula for computing the CR or AVE, or you are asking macro file. Suppose you are not interested to run the, I mean, CR and AV with macro file, you may use that following link to calculate the some web portals. They are really offering that services. I mean, free basis they are offering it. So simple formula. That's why all those different portals are offering that calculation. I will show you. The statistical mind. Go to the statisticalmind.com. The select applications menu. Go to the calculator. We require estimate in the estimate standardized regression itself 0.694, 0.829 and 0.754, 0.625, 0.673 and 0.786. You have to write in a paper and feed it to the website. Okay. So the first factor loading is 0.694. Then add item, add the second value 0.829. Then add item 0.754. Add item 0.625. Then again add fifth variable factor loading is 0.673 and add the last one is 0.786. So the value of composite reliability is 0.872. 0.872. Here also the same 0.872 because the formula never change according to their convenience because no one has a power to change the formula by their convenience, so that the value will be the same in manual calculation and the calculation assistance from any other website and macro file whatever it is. Okay, you may use this link, the statisticalmind.com calculators. You may use this link. Okay. I will send you as a link, so don't worry about it. I will share the reporting format for CFA. That particular website, in the bottom of the screen you will see the formula for computing composite reliability. The average variance exactly is simple. Square the sum square of factor loading divided by number of factors. Sum square of factor loading. This is item R square. Summing all those factors and divided by 6, you will get an average variance exacted. The item R square from itself we can able to compute the AVE because item R square means square of factor loading. That's all. You have to sum all those things and divide by number of factors. You will get a AVE. So in order to obtain composite reliability through the calculator or using any macro file, I will share this macro file after completing this webinar. Okay, don't bother about it. Any clarification regarding this?
Participants can ask the questions. Participants, it's your time to clear your doubts and queries. please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there is AV average variance extracted should be more than 0.5. So average variance extracted in the sense, what is the significance of average, sir? Because
Factor
directly we are
loading.
getting
Factor loading. It gives a factor loading average. That's all. Item it simple it represented as r square. That's all.
R squared coefficient of determination, sir.
Coefficient of determinant. That means standardized factor loading, squaring the standardized factor loading, and after divided by the number of factors. Average number of factor means it's a 6. Total number of factor is 6. Divided by that's all. We get the factor loading. AVE, average variance exacted. Variance exacted.
Yes, sir. So what R squared is to regression, AV is to factor analysis, sir.
Yeah, it's the same thing in whatever we are done in the regression. It replicate the regression. Confirmatory factor analysis replicate the regression. In regression analysis, we only focus on unstandardized coefficient. In confirmatory factor analysis, we are focusing on the standardized factor loading. For testing hypothesis, we are going to select unstandardized. For the factor loading purpose, we are focusing on the standardized regression values.
Unstandardized in the sense it's not normally distributed.
I'm not getting you. Repeat it.
Unstandardized in the sense it's not a normal distribution, sir.
No, not a normal distribution. I am not meaning a normal distribution. If the measurement is same, if your measurement is same, like in IV variable or DV variable, instrumental variable or a dependent variable. Okay, the measurement is same. We have to take unstandardized coefficient. Suppose the height is measured in centimeters, the weight measured in pounds and kilograms. We should not compare this kilogram into the centimeter. There is no rational thing in comparison. So the Likert 5-point scale measures the data from the anchor, like strongly agree to strongly disagree. That means 5 to 1. That time we take unstandardized coefficient. If the measurements are in the same group, we take it in regression analysis. If the measurements were differ, that means we have to move for standardized coefficient. In the regression table, the two beta values were presented. The first beta value is unstandardized. The second thing is standardized. If the measurements are same in IV and DV variable, we have to take unstandardized beta value. If the measurement vary from the IV variable to DV variable, we have to move for standardized beta value. Based on that, we have to form the equation yc equal to a plus b of x. And based on that, we have to accept or reject the null hypothesis. Sometimes you are focusing only on developing the equation. You does not remember the hypothesis accepted or rejected. It never depends upon the hypothesis. It depends upon the equation. Your objective is to forming the equation. Likewise, you are going to check the hypothesis. That time you check the equation simultaneously checking the hypothesis alternatively.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dear participants, now the time is yours to reveal your feedback.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
It is a wonderful webinar. Thanks a lot to Sheikh sir and the organizers. It was very informative, and Sheikh sir was very patient in answering all the queries. Thanks a lot for the excellent and informative webinar, and kindly organize more such webinars to disseminate knowledge to research scholars, be it research scholars or faculty or to students. It is very useful for all the people. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for
Thank you,
your
ma'am.
valuable feedback. Thank you.
Any other participants?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good
Yes,
evening.
Actually,
sir. Good evening.
yes, sir. Yes. Actually, I have knowledge little bit about in the theoretical part and also in the practical part, but not clear how to use the data in software and Excel sheets. So now I'm clear. Whatever in my doubts in Excels and also in the software. So it it is very beneficial for me, and I'm very thankful to you for clear in this uh, very easiest way. So I'm getting all the things what I need actually. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your feedback.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Yes.
uh, so this is the wonderful session I have ever attended.
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Basically, earlier I thought that this is not my cup of tea, the analysis and other part. But
Mm.
after attending this, the basics and fundamental concepts are quite clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other participants? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sheikh Abdullah, sir. Thank you for very much for the wonderful session, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Now validatory session begins.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I
Sure.
invite our college honorable principal, Captain Dr. P. Sundarabandyan, sir, for delivering validatory address. Sir, please.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir.
I'm
Good evening.
really happy to take part in this valedictory function of this wonderful 2 days faculty development program. Also, I'd like to thank the resource person Sheikh Abdul for his wonderful lecture and wonderful feedback actually he had. And I think he has cleared all the doubts raised by the participants, and conceptually they are okay with the program. As in the inaugural address itself, I already told, don't try for a tool, but if it is necessary, one for your data, please use it. But you should understand the concept, whether it is suitable for your research, then use that particular tool in your research. Otherwise, a particular somebody want to uh, what do you say, include put a regression, correlation, factor analysis, and some model, whether it is relevant to the particular research or not, they are using it. So my humble request is, please understand your data, understand your hypothesis, what type of data you are having, whether the particular variable or anything is related with your tool, then use the particular statistical tool. Otherwise, please won't use it. There is no need for using a particular thing compulsorily. Use relevant statistical tool so that the research become good, as well as your report will be a fine and your findings will be a exact one, so that you can your findings and your conclusion will be proved. And rightly put your hypothesis, so that that is also relevant to with your objective of the study as well as the title of the study. Yeah. When I am evaluating various theses, usually I found the objectives of the study vary with the title of the study, and sometimes the tools or hypothesis framed is not at all relevant with the objectives of the study. So please frame your objectives according to the title of the uh, project, and please frame hypothesis according to your objective. Try to prove that with suitable tools. I think today's session helps a lot with Sekhat Abdullah sir's wonderful presentation. So make use of the thing. I thank and congratulate the resource person for his wonderful presentation. I also thank Dr. S. Selvanathan and his faculty members for regularly arranging wonderful programs. And today I note that several participants are from different parts of the country, from Jharkhand and many the UP, like that. There are so many participants from different states. This shows the quality of the seminar or workshop given by the Department of Commerce, self-funded of Virudhunagar Sindhi College. I am really proud of the department, and I congratulate all the persons as well as the participants whom they are very eager to attend the program. That is most important. Even though it is in online mode, the participants is most important, and they have attended the program. Uh, I, Once again, I wish the program for a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, I invite our college coordinator for self-finance program, Dr. R. Palnepan, sir, for presenting the felicitation address. Sir, please.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Respected and beloved principal of our esteemed institution, Dr. P. Sundarabandyan, the chief guest of today's national level seminar, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah of PMT College, Mele Neelathanallur, and 68 participants from different parts of India. A great good evening to all of you. Really a remarkable thing done by the Department of Commerce, SF, of V.H.N.S.N.College, empowering the researchers with the necessary tools. Department of Commerce, SF, is having a habit. They are habitually undertaking these types of program by this nature, encouraging several participants, not only from Tamil Nadu, all over India. There are 57 participants from Tamil Nadu, 47 from different districts of Tamil Nadu, 10 from V.H.N.S.N.College, from Jharkhand 3 participants, from Karnataka 1 participant, from Kerala 1 participant, Maharashtra 1 participant, from Pondicherry 2 participants, from Uttar Pradesh 2 participants, from Uttarakhand 1 participant. And periodically they are conducting such type of events to encourage researchers to make research more vibrant and viable, more easy to undertake research. What are the tools and techniques? What are the ways by which research could be made more suitable to people belonging to this set of discipline? I am really happy and appreciate the efforts taken by the department, and wholeheartedly thank the chief guest for making this 2 days workshop more lively, right from the feedback what I could get from the participants. They are appreciating Dr. Sheikh Abdullah to a larger extent. That much versatile speaker that we are having today. And on behalf of our college management and our beloved principal and the self-finance stream, I wholeheartedly thank you, sir, very much for making this session. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much for making this seminar and useful to the participants. Many seminar people participate for namesake, but they are not of use. But hopefully this seminar is going to be useful for them for their entire lifetime, wherever they are going to use these tools and techniques for research, making the research more easy. And as and when, as I belong to computer science discipline, I see this interdisciplinary way of using tools and techniques. Normally they don't use these types of techniques. Now they are predominantly using such type of techniques. And very happy to note that people are participating to a larger extent. We should have got more strength in this aspect, but people should have realized later that they have not participated in this. See, the feedback is coming continuously, thanking the chief guest for to have done a wonderful seminar, and I wish all the participants success in all their future endeavors. Best wishes to all of you. Once again, I thank the Department of Commerce, SF, and Dr. Sheikh Abdullah for this wonderful endeavor. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, I wish to call upon one of my colleague, Mr. R. Balaji, sir, for proposing vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Good evening, everyone. It is my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this pleasant occasion. So, on behalf of Department of our Commerce SF, I extend warm welcome to the people in this meet. First of all, I thank Almighty God for making this two-day national level virtual FDP a grand success. My sincere thanks to the management board members of our college for permitting us to conduct this program. Then I would like to express a deep sense of gratitude to our principal, Dr. P. Sundarabandin sir, for encouraging us to conduct this event in orderly manner. My wholehearted thanks to our self-finance coordinator, Dr. R. Palaniappan sir, who renders unstinted support to us in make this program a successful one. I extend my gratitude to our honorable resource person, Dr. S. Sheikh Abdullah sir, for sparing their valuable time with us. I thank for giving us a wonderful lecture on development and psychometric analysis using EFA and CFA. Thank you for highly inspiring time with us. Your remarkable depth of understanding of the subject made the lecture an exceptionally stimulating and informative one. I thank and congratulate all the participants for their active participation from various states. Thank you again for your attendance. We look forward to bring you even more events in the future. Thank you once again for making the virtual FDP a great success. Finally, I must thank the organizing team of staff members of both our V.H.N.S.N.College and GVN College for putting their sincere effort for the past few days to make this FDP a successful one. I also thank Mr. Kanabadiyanna and Mr. Mahesanna for their technical support. Once again, I thank everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.